Come join us. Have a seat. Words of the day: inherent jurisdiction, judicial discretion, deference. Let's first talk about inherent jurisdiction. Inherent jurisdiction means the built-in power judges have to run the courtroom fairly and stop abuse of the court process, even if there's no rule that specifically says they can. It's only for filling in the gaps or making sure justice works smoothly. Judges cannot use it to go against a statute or rule of court. Now, let's talk about how judges really exercise this power. Inherent jurisdiction is the mystical legal superpower judges carry in their robes, activated whenever statutes and rules become inconvenient and where logic ends and robes begin. Inherent jurisdiction is equivalent to your mom saying, "Because I said so." It is the judicial form of duct tape, useful for any problem. In other words, it is the judge's secret menu item. Now we will be talking about judicial discretion. Judicial discretion is the authority given to judges to make decisions within the boundaries of the law when the statute or rule does not dictate a single outcome. In other words, unlike inherent jurisdiction, the power comes from statutes, rules, or case law. It lets judges choose the best choice from several legally permissible options. If the discretion is exercised unfairly, arbitrarily, or unreasonably, appellate courts can overturn it. Judicial discretion is a judge's lawful power to choose between permissible outcomes, while inherent jurisdiction is the court's residual authority to control process when statutes don't cover it. Now let's talk about how judges really use their judicial discretion. Judicial discretion is the magic wand that turns fairness into favoritism. It is where the law ends and the judge's mood begins. It is the judicial excuse for coloring outside the lines of the law and never having to explain why. It is the bench's polite way of saying tough luck. Now let's talk about judicial deference. Judicial deference means a court shows respect for the decision, findings, or expertise of another judge instead of substituting its own judgment. An appeal court will give significant deference to a trial judge's findings of fact on the premise that only the trial judge heard the witnesses and was therefore better positioned to assess credibility. In other words, appeal courts generally focus more on errors of law and avoid reweighing evidence or reassessing evidence. Now let's talk about how deference is used in the real world. Deference is the gag order judges follow when it comes to criticizing their colleagues. They baptize bad decisions with the holy water of deference. Deference is the judicial version of see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. In appeals, deference turns judicial accountability into a no-comment policy. Thank you for watching our Judge School.